Let not the battles around you make you cease from doing the will of God in your life. Simply because the battles have become fierce, it does not mean that you should lay down your tools and stop. This is the moment that you should even work even harder. The more the enemy attacks is the more you should get confirmation that something is happening, rather than saying that the devil is taking over and you feel like you can no longer go ahead. Do not listen to Sanballat. Do not listen to those who are stopping you. Do not listen to those who are challenging you. Listen to the voice that brought you this far, which is the voice of God, in Jesus' mighty name. When you read from the book of Nehemiah 4:1, it says, "But it so happened when Sanballat heard that we were rebuilding the wall, that he was furious and very indignant and mocked the Jews." Wherever there is a rebuilding, wherever there is a restoring, remember, restoring or rebuilding means there was a building, but it was destroyed. Something was once there, but somebody destroyed it. If the destroyer gets to know that you are rebuilding, gets to know that you are being restored, he will be furious. Sanballat was mocking these people, but these people, their focus was supposed to be one. God said rebuild the wall. So your focus has to be one. God is saying redo that which you had stopped. Resume that which you are trying to stop. And know that it's not what people say or how they want your life to be that matters. What matters is you heard from God, and that is what you are going to hold on to until you see the victory. And he spoke before his brethren and the army of Samaria and said, "What are these feeble Jews doing? Will they fortify themselves? Will they offer sacrifices? Will they complete it in a day?" People are asking questions. What is this woman doing? What is this man doing? Does he think that he can do it again? Does he have the capability? Does he have the money? Does he have the connection? Does he have the heart? This feeble woman, this lazy woman, this poor woman, can she make it? I'm here to tell you, I'm here to speak to that person inside of you. It is time to rise. Yes, you can make it. Feeble as you are, weak as you are, with no money as you are, you can make it. It's no matter who is with you or not. What God said to you is what is paramount. He said he's on your side and is going to accomplish you in Jesus' mighty name. When we jump to Nehemiah 4:6, it says, So we built the wall, and the entire wall was joined together up to half its height. For the people had a mind to work. For the people had a mind to work. You must have a mind of what you're doing. These people built that wall till halfway because they had a mind to work. They ignored the Sanballats and every person who was against them, and they focused on what they are doing. You are in a time of crossing over. But I'm telling you, if you listen to that person who is attacking you, if you look at what your children are doing, if you're looking at what your husband is doing, your wife is doing, the job is saying, all the negativities around you, you are not going to focus. Have one mind, have one purpose. Believe in yourself that God said this thing is coming through. I must believe, no matter what is around me, no matter the storm, no matter what, the battles that are around me, I'm going to see God in Jesus' mighty name. When we jump Nehemiah 4:14, it says, "And I looked and arose and said to the nobles, to the leaders, and to the rest of the people." You see, this is, you have to first rise. You have to look and know the people you should talk to. Here we read and it says, "And I looked and arose," looking and rising. Not just looking and remaining down. You must look and arise. and say to the nobles and to the leaders, you must first point out the people who are of substance. Talk to people who are at a higher level, who can help you maneuver. He's talking first to the nobles. Then after he agrees with the noble, he's now talking to the leaders. You see? If the nobles say yes, the leaders cannot say no. And after he speaks to the leaders, since they are the ones who control everybody else, when he talks to everybody else, then they have to follow, because he has already talked to the leaders. You have to have a plan. You have to know who you are going to talk to and who you are not going to talk to if you are going to complete that wall. Be like Nehemiah. Be wise. Know where you're supposed to touch and where you're not supposed to touch. The people you're supposed to communicate with and the ones you're not supposed to communicate with. So it continues and says, this is what he told them. Do not be afraid of them. Remember the Lord, great and awesome. And fight for your brethren, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your house. Do not listen to the enemy. Remember the God who took you out of bondage. Remember the God who delivered you when your past was hard. Remembering victories is going to give you the energy for now. Fight for your house, fight for your brethren, fight for your children, fight for what is yours. This is the moment that you should stand and say, because Jesus has called me, I shall overcome. No matter if the problem is so big, no matter if the battle is so fierce, this is the time that you should stand. That now that you have spoke to people who matter, you are working with people who matter, you have already addressed yourself, it is time to stand. It is time to take over. The city is yours. The building will be complete. You shall see that last stone be laid on top of that house you're building. You shall see that last paint on that wall as soon as you finish. You are a restorer. You are a builder. And God is getting ready to use you. Do not be down, not to remember who you are. Do not be so weak to remember the promises of God. Do not let anything divert you from what God told you. Let the Sanballat stop. The Sanballat can be your wife. Sanballat can be your children. Sanballat can be the things around you, people who are against you, but do not listen to them. Have one mind, have one purpose, and know that God did not call you in vain. He did not promise in vain. That thing is soon coming through. That money is coming through. That promise is coming through. That job is coming through. Do not listen to Sanballat. The people around us can discourage us, but the promise in us will encourage us. Be blessed, and I'm praying for you always that you may know you are not a loser. Even with nothing, you have something. Be blessed in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.